Welcome to the Wealthologist Weekly, where every week we dive into the world of wealth, economics, and personal finance. I'm your host, Chris Hobart, the Wealthologist, and today I want to talk about a topic that many find daunting, but we're hearing a lot about it: recessions. They can be tough, no doubt, but as the saying goes, every cloud has a silver lining, right? So before we dismiss the idea that there's anything positive about recessions, let's consider a couple of facts. First, recessions, as gloomy as they may seem, they often have their benefits. They help put a leash on inflation and rising prices. Perhaps you're tired of watching your grocery bills skyrocket, or maybe the cost of hotel rooms or entertainment or concert tickets is kind of frustrating to you. So if that's the case, a recession could actually be just what the frugal mindset craves, as it helps to reset some prices and drive that inflation down. Recessions, they kind of have a way of cleansing the economic system. In fact, a long time ago, the Treasury Secretary Andrew Mellon, this was during the Great Depression, by the way, said, liquidate labor, liquidate stocks, liquidate the farmers, liquidate real estate. It will purge the rottenness out of the system. Recessions force us to cut back on things that have high costs and high living standards, which can oftentimes, like we said, reset, reset and adjust our values. And the thing is, the enterprising rise from the less competent in a case like that. Let's think of a recession as an economic reset button. They encourage consumers and companies to save more and spend less. It's a kind of a time for reflection and reevaluation as to what is most important financially. The recessions also act as a form of, I guess we'd call it economic Darwinism. They weed out the bad ideas and they cut funding for future bad ideas, and they help improve the overall economic ecosystem. Well-run companies acquire poorly run companies, and surviving businesses become more efficient. Moreover, recessions often catalyze innovation as companies look for new technology and new processes to improve and streamline operations. The government and private sector investments in research and development tend to increase during a recession to help stimulate economic growth. Recessions also force governments to take action. The Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, and Congress tends to pass legislation to help stimulate economic growth, allowing consumers and businesses to refinance debts at lower rates, as well as encourage new investments in things like entrepreneurship and innovation. Now, even more interesting, recessions can create unique investment opportunities. History shows us that the stock market, as represented by the S&P 500, tends to rebound strongly after a recession. So here's the thing. There's light at the end of the recession tunnel. So what's the bottom line? The U.S. economy, it is extremely powerful. It is a growth engine that thrives on change and adaptation. Now, when we're faced with a recession or potential recession, don't rush to cash. Stay the course might not be the best strategy either, though. Instead, a recession is a time to make deliberate adjustments to your investment strategy. The thing that we look at is focusing on recession-resistant growth. Economic slowdowns won't stop brilliant minds from making groundbreaking discoveries in fields like medicine and technology and clean energy. So we've got to embrace that tsunami of innovation fueling the economy really over the next decade. And in the end, remember, recessions, they are a feature of the U.S. economy. They are not a bug. They're part of the economic cycle. They help restore that balance to the supply and demand equation. So consider them as an opportunity for growth and change. Now, that's a wrap for this week's episode of Wealthologist Weekly. Again, I'm Chris Hobart, and I'll catch you next week. But remember, there's always a silver lining, even in the darkest economic clouds. And we're dealing with some rough stuff in the economy right now, but I'm going to encourage you, stay informed, stay curious, and stay wealthy.